Shalom, people. This is Brother Laos coming at you with another video. And it's been a while since I did a video on the walking track. It's a nice day today, so I decided to get back on the track and just do a short video on my thoughts dealing with this coming election in 2020 for President of the United States, and what I think will might be the outcome. Well, we already understand that from the polls and from what seems to be public opinion on the social media that black people here in America are not getting behind the re-election of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden for 2024. At least, like I said, that's where it appears to be on the surface. But you know, polls and social media, blogs, and all these things sometimes don't always paint the true picture. So we had to look back to what happened in Nigeria with Peter Obi, the election that they had for president of Nigeria, where it seemed like opinion polls and online bloggers and everything were getting behind Peter Obi becoming the president of Nigeria. But according to some of the other candidates' parties, they feel that Peter Obi's objection to him losing the election because of what the social media blogs and polls were saying were hiding the real truth about how many people actually got out there and voted for him. And you know, at first when I thought about the outcome of the election in Nigeria, I definitely, and I still do to some extent, feel that it would definitely was some shenanigans going on in the election of the president for Nigeria when it came to the paper ballots, and then the paper ballots being taken somewhere else to be uploaded into a computer. I definitely feel that it was some shenanigans going there, but it doesn't seem like Peter Obi had a landslide advantage over Tinubu. I think, to me, it was close enough that they definitely should have had a runoff, or whatever you would call it, when president's election are that close. They should have had something like that. But it seems that it was definitely some interested parties that were backing Tinubu to become president, because either for tribal reasons or because the international community knew that he would be more favorable a person to continue the status quo of the Western powers going over there and taking advantage of the great natural resources that Nigeria had, to the detriment of the people. And the reason I'm mentioning that, when it comes to Biden and Trump, or whoever is going to be the one that's running against Biden and Harris, is that for right now, yes, the public opinion polls and all those things seem to favor Trump or some other candidate other than Joe Biden. But the true test is going to be who throws the money behind the whichever candidate that they want, and how people view of them almost, I guess, little under a year from now will be, because a lot of things can change between now and November of next year. So I'm not holding my breath, feeling that, oh yeah, Biden is out there and that black people are gonna keep their same sentiment, because we have proven in the past that we are a very fickle people. Even to the election of Barack Obama. And I said this story before on my channel. I can remember when I was going to school at Shaw University back in the year that Barack Obama was running. I can remember in my class, and remember I told you, when I went to college, I was in my 40s. So, and it was a CAPE program, meaning for older people that like myself, that had life experience but had never gone to college, and they let you kind of pull your life experiences into credits and put that towards your degree. So I had a lot of people that were my age at that time and older, and we would be in there, in between classes, and sometimes even in the class discussions, talking about that election during that time. And at that time, I kind of was not really like that into politics. I was, at that time, I was still in the Christian church, and I was still in ministry, things like that. So I wasn't really, putting that much energy behind it. But I did remember my wife had got a book about Barack Obama that she had read, and a lot of people didn't know a lot about him. He did seem to be a person that was not ultra left in the sense of what I had read about him. And he seemed to be at that time a pretty nice candidate. I would have considered maybe for a middle ground Democrat. At least that's what I thought. And so when it was said that he was going to run against Hillary Clinton, because he was so young and a lot of people didn't really know his stance on certain things, and they knew that he wasn't actually born and raised here in America, it was a lot of black people in my class that would say, oh no, we ain't voting for Barack Obama. We don't know nothing about him. We know about Hillary. We know about Bill. We gonna vote for them. And I would be in the class somewhere arguing with him, saying, you're not even giving this guy a chance. I mean, you don't really, we don't really know a lot about him, but he doesn't seem to be bad. Although he didn't have a outstanding anything that stood out for voting when it came to, him being a senator from Illinois. Still, yeah, like I said, he said at that time, at least at that time, what he felt about abortion. He said he didn't. He was still up in the air on it. This is what he said. I don't know what he really felt. We know what he said later on, but I said give him a chance. So anyway, they was railing against him, and then next thing you know, that stuff that happened in South Carolina, where they said Bill Clinton, at least this is what they said, had stated that people like Barack Obama back when he was growing up would have been working in the Arkansas governor's mansion instead of running for president. And that word got out, and then black people started turning it against Hillary Clinton and saying, hey, let's give Barack a chance. And next thing you know, the public sentiment picked up, and next thing you know, everybody, including myself, was like, yeah, let's go for this. Let's go ahead and, put this guy in office. At least just give it a try, right? little did we know later on the sentiment on his part toward us would not be the same, in the sense that I know he wasn't gonna take us from the pauper's house into the palace, but he could have thrown some more bones to us. But the point is, the money will start pouring behind him. The message across the social media and all these things when everybody thought that Hillary Clinton was gonna be a shoo-in to get presidency and be the first woman president, it didn't happen. So it's gonna be, I believe we can say the same thing with this right now. Definitely Joe Biden feels like, to some people, black people are albatross around their neck. But they're right now, the Democrats have not shown that they feel that he is. Now understand, you had people that came out and said he is a liability. But if he was a liability, believe me, they would have got him out there. It must be something that they have up their sleeve that they're planning that's gonna maybe be another Hail Mary, like they did with Biden the first time, when he was somehow able to persuade Jim Clyburn to get out there in South Carolina and help him win that state and started his reemergence, because black people at that time wasn't really feeling him back then. So we cannot count him out. Now, there is also the Hail Mary pass that the Democrats could possibly bring in to make, I don't say make, to cause black people to want to vote for Joe Biden. And I think this, to me, is a great possibility. One, they could bring Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. They could get somehow, maybe get Kamala to bow out from being Joe Biden's running partner, and say, look, right now, she could say this: the polls are showing that Joe Biden's chances of being reelected with me being on a ticket show a low probability, and for the good of the party, I'm going to bow out. And then Gavin Newsom could stand in, and she could say, you know, Gavin Newsom gave me a chance back in the day, and now, for the sake of the Democratic Party, I'm bowing out and I'm turning it over to Gavin. And Gavin Newsom, he is definitely a smooth operator. We see what he did, which really wasn't a challenge, what he did when he was doing that debate with Ron DeSantis. But he is a smooth talker, and he could use the premise that, listen, black people, not only did I do the reparations commission, but we laid out a plan. It's just that I couldn't get the California legislation to even think to vote on it. But if I become vice president, and Biden, you know how he can sometimes be a slick talker. He could say, you know, hey, whatever my running partner says, I'm with it, and get black people to vote on that basis. Because listen, if Donald Trump somehow is able to keep from getting put in a jail cell between now and November of next year, there's no way you will ever get him. His reporters would not allow it. You could never get Donald Trump to agree that he would pay reparations to black people. He couldn't even fake it. Black people would know that. You couldn't even get him to fake talking about any police reform. It would take a miracle for something like that. So definitely, if Gavin Newsom got in there and was Joe Biden, and plus the fact people would say, you know what, we feel a whole lot more comfortable that if something happened to Joe Biden while he was in his second term, that we believe Gavin Newsom could take up the reins, because that's been one of the major complaints of people that said that, you know what, if something happened to Joe Biden in office. Can you imagine Kamala Harris, vice president, taking over? No way. But Gavin Newsom could ease those fears. I'm telling you, I believe that. And so the second thing again could be that first and foremost, the second possibility for black people that they could use to get black people to vote for Biden again would be definitely if they can get Donald Trump, if they could get Donald Trump locked up before November 2024, and then all the other candidates that are running against Biden, none of them, they're not even a minuscule threat to Biden. That black people will almost be like, what other choice do we have? We don't have no other choice but to put this man back in White House, because none of these other people, Cornel West, none of the Republican candidates out there, which black people wasn't gonna be doing all that. Like they were saying, black people ain't gonna do all that with the Republican Party like they protecting. I mean, understand what I'm saying? They're definitely angry and mad and saying that, but when push comes to shove, like I said, it ain't no one else outside of Trump. If Trump got put in jail, black people ain't willing to go out on the line for no also run. At least with Trump, if he didn't get put in jail, and black people could really like see him win a couple of states where blacks should have, then the Democrats would take him seriously. But right now, the Democrats, I believe they're gonna get Trump in jail before November 2024, and that none of the other candidates are not even gonna be a threat. And so they might not even have to go with but I do believe still they might go with the Gavin Newsom as vice president anyway. I think just to seal it up. But definitely if they get Biden, if Biden can get him in, or also if they could end the wars by using the Republican Congress, right? With Joe Biden saying, you know what, Republicans is not supporting the war like that in Ukraine, and then Israel could get a permanent ceasefire by November 2024. Most black people would have forgot about all the money that had been spent on these wars, and they would once again, I believe, get behind the Democrats. So there's so many different possibilities that could cause black people again to vote for Joe Biden. That this is why I'm not getting tangled up in it, because a lot of things can come now. Would be a good thing to see that black people would break their love affair with both of these political parties. It would be a great thing. But the scriptures does not seem to prove that. The Bible says in the book of Revelations, he said, come out from her, my people, that ye be not partaker of her sins. And when Yeshua says this several times in the book of Revelation, they let you know he's trying to tell our people in such a way to let them know that this is not a good thing. Why is it usually when Yah says something twice or three times, it's because the people that he's talking to are hard-headed people. And a lot of our people are hard-headed, and therefore when you see the woman burned with fire in the book of Revelations, which is not only the false assembly, which is Christianity and Islam and all these other religions that our people are in. I hate to tell you, That's what it is. You can see that this month of December with this Christmas thing. How many of our people for decades and even longer than that have been told that this thing called Christmas is not of the Most High? Not to mention, it is greatly devastating to a lot of our people's finances, and they're always complaining about money, and you going out here and doing all this crazy spending and everything, but that some of our people will go down in flames for this Christmas thing. And much as they want to say, oh, it's about Jesus, it's not about Santa Claus, it ain't about Yeshua. First of all, because he wasn't born this month. This is a total made up. This is a winter solstice. How many of our people will go down in flames with it? In fact, it's not funny, but here in the area where I live at, there's a family who lost their home because of a Christmas tree. They had the real tree. They ain't have the plastic, which either one would be bad if you held a lighter up against the tree. Apparently, somebody put a light up against the tree, and the fire burnt down the house, killed one. It was a lady and her 2 children. One of the children got killed in the fire, and the mother got severely injured, and that everything in the house was lost because of a Christmas tree. Now, back when I was growing up, this used to happen even more often than a lot. You used to hear about it growing up. When I was growing up, about people, Christmas trees catching on fire when people was, and I think that might be one reason why they brought out the plastic Christmas trees. You used to hear it all the time, right? Sitting up in your living room with a real Christmas, real pine tree with real candles lit on it. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, getting back to that, the thing of the false church, a lot of our people ain't gonna come out of that. And part of the black experience in the black churches being a Democrat. So it is kind of intertwined. So as much as, this information comes out about this Christianity thing, this false Christianity thing, and much as information that comes out about the Democrat and the Republican Party, well, we already know about the Republican Party. Black people ain't gonna vote for them. But as much as information comes out about what the Democrat Party, how many of our people you think still is gonna vote Democrat, no matter what, blue, no matter who? It's gonna happen. I'm telling you. But enough of us, I believe, might stay to this show that the Most High is waking us up. But I still think the lion's share of a lot of black people is still gonna feel safe in the arms of the Democrat Party, as they're gonna feel safe in the arms of the Christianity and the white Jesus. They just feel, it used to be a song when I was in Christianity. I can't think of the name of the choir, but it was it had the song "Safe in His Arms," right? Because the Lord is my shepherd, I have everything that I need. I really feel that's the way a lot of black people feel, and I definitely see it in Africa too. They feel safe in the arms of the white Jesus. They feel safe in the arms of the white Jesus, just like they feel safe in the arms of the Democratic Party. No matter how much, it's just like the battered woman, right? Man, come in there, he drunk, cussing and fussing and all this, and she swear off, I ain't gonna with him, I'm gonna leave him and everything. And then he grabs her in his arms and hold her tight, and they go in there and do their thing, and all them people, they say, you gonna leave, nah, I'm gonna give him another chance. I'm gonna give him, and you used to laying up there on the phone, he got his arms wrapped around you, you still got the mark on your eye where he popped you in the eye, but you still gonna stay with him. That's the way some of our people feel with this Eurocentric Christianity thing, and this Democratic, and in some instances the Republican Party. they're going to stay with it to the end. And in Revelations, it talks about the woman being burnt with fire. And this is why you see now, first it was Christianity. They're working on Christianity. Christianity pretty much is, like I said, because it was part of that whole beast system anyway, because it all came out of Catholicism when Constantine and them took over the message, right? They have been abusing us. Rome has been destroying us, right? They have been destroying us for a long time, right? And so we look at it and we forget all the things that happen. So, the enemy, he don't bring out no new tricks. If you see he got one that's working, he gonna keep on using it. So, what can I say? I hope my people prove me wrong. I definitely hope, but our track record doesn't look that good. So, we'll see. We'll see. But until then, I'm gonna ask you to give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna ask you to leave a comment. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe. Be blessed.